I put together this AI intentionality filter. So there's 4 different pieces to that. It's agency. Does this preserve my ability to choose, or am I taking a seat back and just letting it tell me what is correct? Discernment. Is it sharpening my thinking, or am I not thinking at all? And then presence, is it deepening my presence? Am I feeling connected to myself, or is it replacing it? And then truth, does it actually align with your inner truth? Or again, are you just defaulting, like you said, to convenience? Is it the easiest path of resistance? You could ask yourself those questions while you're using this technology, because right now we're not thinking like that. We're just like, we need to learn it because people tell us we need to learn it, which, okay, great. But there has to be still that embodied state and intentional use of it, right?
All right. Hello, everyone. And thank you for joining us for today's conversation around the future of work, where technology sits in that, and what it takes to build organizations that genuinely support people. My name is Gabby, and I run content over at Kaylee, your AI employee benefits advisor, and I'll be your host for today's conversation. And today I'm joined by Tamra Morowski, who is a transformation specialist, really passionate about helping organizations lead through change with empathy, with putting people front and center. And I'm really excited to talk to you today, Tamra. I love all of the points of view that you have to share around how AI is evolving, what AI literacy means, and really just what it means to come back to ourselves in times where technology is just exploding around us.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited about the conversation, Gabby. It'll be a fun one.
Yeah, definitely. So, just to kick things off, I would love to just hear a little bit more about you, your background. Like, what are the things that are kind of top of mind for you right now as you're working with organizations across all walks of life?
Yeah. So it's interesting. My background has always been so I started off in the agency side. So marketing agencies, digital marketing agencies, moved into technology, where I worked for a company who used AI in their technology itself, and now find myself in the AI education space for it's been about 6 years now. So even before ChatGPT and everything launched, I was already in this space. For 5 years now, I've had my yoga certifications. So I've been teaching yoga since then. And even around that same time, I was kind of going through my own journey. I've been kind of exploring all of these different well-being modalities on my own and really using health and wellness, my yoga practice, my breath work, my cold plunging, all of these different things to really guide me and help me through uncertainty, and a lot of the same themes we're kind of seeing right now. So I built a lot of resilience personally, and now I'm really passionate about kind of combining what I've learned about psychology and nervous system regulation and neuroscience into how to help organizations in the age of AI. And then also just on a personal side as well, like helping women adopt this technology in a way that is very intentional and that feels good to them without losing parts of themselves.
Love that. And I'm smiling super wide because I'm also yoga certified. I did my yoga teacher training a few years back, and another one this year. I'm going into year 2, like my 500 hours.
Wow, that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, it's like so. Just everything that you're saying really resonates with me because exactly what you're saying, as we've kind of moved into a space of so much uncertainty, especially with the evolution of AI and technology and how fast everything is moving, being able to have these tools that bring me back into my body through breathing, through movement has been so crucial as I manage the stress that my body feels in these work environments. I would love if you could share some pointers on how we can better relate to AI from more of an organizational point of view.
Yeah, a lot of people are really taking that first step of the education piece and the literacy piece, which is so important. Like, for example, the company I work for, Smarter X, we have our AI Academy. So I do see that we're stepping, right? Like people are doing it more intentional, but I also see it is just more of a pressure from the C-suite to just start using the technology. And
Yeah.
there's not a lot of the communication around starting with the people. So I
Yeah.
think in order to do that correctly, it has to start with a very clear message from leadership around how this is going to roll out. I think there needs to be time built into the workday in order to test and experiment with the tools, because you know this, when people are coming at something from a place of pure curiosity and play and joy, and this is going to improve my life. I think there's an environmental side as well in the organization when it comes down to like
Mhm.
training and playtime and um, even weaving in if there is a purpose around this. So like ideally, okay, this was my big idea when ChatGPT came out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, this is going to solve for burnout. This is going to let us come down to a 4-day work week, because the old systems they're old. Like we don't need those systems anymore. And everybody told me like, Tamra, you're crazy. I feel
Yeah.
like maybe we could now rethink the actual structure of what it means to have a thriving life
Mhm.
and what work is supposed to look like, or what that would actually contribute to the betterment of society in the future. I think we need to really blow
Yeah.
up the old model and just reimagine what is possible with this technology, with the human as the number one goal. How can I improve the lives of my employees?
I love that you're hopeful.
Well, and I think just having conversations like this with like-minded people that actually truly want to help people at the end of the day, and showing what's possible,
Yeah.
it's going to lead to more innovation. But that's where I take a step back and I'm like, we need
Yeah.
to feel calm enough to be able to understand our own creative potential and our own ability to think bigger,
Yeah.
and that's when the tools are superpowers, because it's expanding your thinking around what you already know, but you have to be grounded in within yourself, really truly know yourself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Curious to get your thoughts on, you talked a lot about change management actually.
yeah.
Would you mind sharing maybe a success story that you've seen in the last few years or recently around an organization that really was able to lead with a more human-centric approach to how they rolled out new technologies
Right.
and
Yeah,
processes?
I would say so. We tell everybody to have a like AI council within your organization. So
Okay.
start there. That way you can have people that are really thinking deeply around the rollout of this. And again, I truly believe that HR leaders should be in that, if not leading that conversation, because it does start with the people. So develop an AI council. Um, I would look into some sort of AI education platform. So we have our own AI education platform. The frontier models, OpenAI and Anthropic, they all have training too.
Mm.
So yeah, there's so much information out there, so it does get overwhelming. But coming up with a plan for how are you going to educate and get everybody on the same education level around this stuff, and then you have to test, you have to reiterate. You have to have grace for yourself throughout this process, because it can get overwhelming. And that's where, again, I think leadership needs to understand that. I think that the leaders, they really need to have this education around the nervous system from a physiological perspective.
Yeah.
That way they can then roll out in a way that feels really good to the organization.
Mm. Okay, that's super interesting. And so, what are some of the things that leaders can do before they even start to design these programs? Like, what does it look like to help your teams learn to regulate themselves?
Do you want me to give you what I would love to see?
Yes, give me the art of the possible. I want to know.
Listen. Okay, so I mean, there are studies out there right now around people that actually lead a meeting with a meditation at the beginning. Their teams
Yeah.
actually are more open. If you look at Heart Math Institute, they do a simple heart opening exercise. They're training policemen, firefighters. I mean, it's insane the people that they're training. The more that we can create a sense of calm and peace within the organization, the more people will be able to connect. And I don't know if you know this too. So when we talk about nervous system regulation, employees take on the nervous system of their manager. So there's studies around that as well, which you can understand that how that would
Of course.
happen,
Yeah.
right? But you think about that, where then you have your middle managers who are managing people and also responsible for AI adoption within their organizations. They're burned out because they can't
Yeah.
even wrap their arms around all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So there has to be a better path, I think. There has to be a better path. Like that's the type of future that I believe in, where we feel connected to ourselves, connected to others, connected to our teams. And that's where I do believe creativity thrives and innovation thrives and fabulous ideas happen, you know?
You speak a lot about physiology and how the body is impacted by this sudden shift that we've kind of entered into as a society of using LLMs and, sort of almost even like outsourcing our thinking in some ways
Right.
with these sort of tools. Can you speak a little bit to what you've learned on the impact it has on our bodies?
Well, so there was some research done around the critical thinking side. So there was a test done around people who used AI versus who didn't, and it did show that the people that used AI were not able to recall their own thinking or the understanding of it. So I started thinking about that, and personally too. So I went through it on my own right when ChatGPT launched. I just noticed like my ability to think through things in a deeper level. I wasn't journaling as much, which I journal every single day. I felt more disconnected from myself than I am usually like used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now there is a lot of research around that, but it's not our fault. Like our brains are built this way. And you have to understand where we're coming from. We're coming off of, COVID, where people already were feeling isolated. And then there's also burnout culture in organizations, right? And then now with AI, there's this meaning crisis happening where people are really questioning, who am I if that job title is not me? Because AI is reflecting that to us. What does it mean to be human in this age of AI? Every single day, there is something else coming out that we need to know about. And so when our brain is constantly overloaded with information, and then also you're also feeling stressed out, burned out, your nervous system is already on wire, you're not able to retain information. Basically, your prefrontal cortex shuts down, and that is the space where you can think logically and have better decision making. So the idea is I've been really getting into learning Stephen Kotler's work around flow states and the Flow State Institute, because I think there's something there around the ability to not just focus, but enter into these like high performance flow states. That way you can control, what has access to your brain, but also how are you using tools and AI tools in a way that feels good. People want and they're craving connection.
Yeah, they absolutely are. I'm reading a book by Johan Hari, who I really recommend. It's about basically the loss of attention that we're living today and how exactly what you just said, because of the vast volumes of information that we are analyzing at any moment every day, it just completely reduces the ability to absorb any of the information. There's a natural tendency to skim because that's the lowest degree of effort that the brain can put in. Like the brain is always looking for like the lowest path of effort.
Easiest way. Yes.
Unless you actually train it in the same way that you go to the gym, in the same way that you maybe, like practice breath work or do breath holds.
Right.
And I would love to get your thoughts. Like when we think about tangible ways to be able to retrain the brain, what would you recommend that our audience could maybe use in their day-to-day?
I'm going outside and getting in nature and taking walks. I'm being very intentional with my time. I put together this AI intentionality filter. So So there's four different kind of pieces to that. It's agency. Does this preserve my ability to choose, or am I taking a seat back and just letting it tell me what is correct? Discernment, is it sharpening my thinking, or am I not thinking at all? And then presence, is it deepening my presence? Am I feeling connected to myself, or is it replacing it? And then truth, does it actually align with your inner truth? Or again, are you just defaulting, like you said, to convenience? Is it the easiest path of resistance? You could ask yourself those questions while you're using this technology, because right now we're not thinking like that. We're just like, we need to learn it because people tell us we need to learn it, which, okay, great. But there has to be still that embodied state and intentional use of it, right?
Totally agree. Oh man, this has been such a great conversation, Tamra. So I have a few rapid fire questions to
Yeah.
close. So the idea is they're kind of short and fun, quick answers. So to kick things off, most overused phrase in corporate AI talk right now.
Adopt or you'll be left behind.
Yes, my gosh, the being left behind thing, like the fear mongering. Come on,
It is fear-based, and I don't agree with that.
I agree. An app or tool that's helped you find more regulation.
Opal.
Opal, amazing. The most human skill AI will never replace.
I'm going to say childlike curiosity and awe.
I love that. Oh, that's a great answer. Cold plunge or long walk?
Ooh, cold plunge all day, every day.
Yeah, you're a cold plunger. Oh man, you gotta teach me. I do not like plunging. I need to keep trying. And most importantly, if our audiences want to learn more or connect with you, where can they do that?
Reach out to me on LinkedIn, send me a note, send me a message. I'm always happy to jump on a call and brainstorm and just connect with other people that are thinking this way.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for the time. I really loved our conversation. And thank you for our audiences to tuning in.
Thank you, Gabby.
Have a good one.